You could sleep 12 hours tonight and still wake up exhausted. And here's the terrifying part. Your body might be screaming for help, but you've learned to ignore it. Let me guess. You're tired right now, not just sleepy, tired. That bone-deep exhaustion that coffee can't fix. You sleep 7, maybe 8 hours. You hit your sleep goal, yet every morning feels like climbing out of quicksand. Here's what nobody tells you. Sleep duration is only half the equation. You can spend a third of your life in bed and still be running on empty. Because modern life has found 1,000 invisible ways to drain you, and most of them have nothing to do with how long your head hits the pillow. Let's start with the obvious culprit that isn't so obvious. The quality of your sleep is probably terrible, and you don't even know it. Your brain cycles through different sleep stages throughout the night. Deep sleep is where your body repairs itself. REM sleep is where your brain processes emotions and consolidates memories. You need both. But here's the problem. Your lifestyle is actively preventing you from getting them. That glass of wine you have to help you sleep, it's sabotaging your REM cycles. Alcohol might knock you out, but it keeps your brain from entering the restorative stages of sleep. You're unconscious, but you're not recovering. It's like putting your phone on airplane mode instead of actually charging it. Your bedroom temperature is probably wrong too. Your core body temperature needs to drop for deep sleep to occur. If your room is too warm, anything above 67 degrees Fahrenheit, your body struggles to enter deep sleep. You're lying there for 8 hours in shallow, unrefreshing sleep. And that blue light from your phone? It's not just keeping you awake, it's destroying your sleep architecture. The light tricks your brain into thinking it's daytime, suppressing melatonin production for hours after you finally put the screen down. Even if you fall asleep quickly, your brain hasn't properly prepared for rest. But let's say you've fixed all of that. Dark room, cool temperature, no screens, no alcohol. You're still tired. Why? Because your fatigue isn't just about sleep. It's about energy debt. Think of your body like a bank account. Every day you make withdrawals, physical exertion, mental effort, emotional stress, and you're supposed to make deposits, food, rest, recovery. Most people are operating with a massive energy overdraft, and they don't even realize it. Your diet is probably bleeding you dry. Not because you're eating too much or too little, but because you're riding a blood sugar roller coaster that's crashing your energy levels throughout the day. You skip breakfast, or grab something sugary. Your blood sugar spikes. Your pancreas floods your system with insulin. Your blood sugar crashes. Now you're exhausted and reaching for more sugar or caffeine. The cycle repeats. By mid-afternoon, you're not just tired, you're in a metabolic crisis. And caffeine? That's not giving you energy. It's borrowing energy from your future self. Caffeine blocks adenosine receptors in your brain. Adenosine is the chemical that makes you feel tired. But blocking the signal doesn't eliminate the tiredness. It just masks it. When the caffeine wears off, all that accumulated fatigue hits you at once. You're not solving the problem. You're accumulating sleep debt with interest. Here's something most people never consider. You might be chronically dehydrated. Even mild dehydration, just 2% below optimal hydration, reduces cognitive performance and increases fatigue. Your blood becomes thicker. Your heart has to work harder to pump it. Your brain function decreases. You feel exhausted, but you think you just need more sleep. But there's a deeper layer to this. A more insidious reason why you're always tired. Chronic stress is literally destroying your ability to generate energy. Your body produces energy in the mitochondria of your cells. These are tiny power plants that convert nutrients into usable energy. But chronic stress floods your system with cortisol, and elevated cortisol damages mitochondrial function. You're not just tired. Your cells are losing their ability to produce energy efficiently. And stress doesn't just mean your job or your relationships. Your body interprets inflammation as stress. Poor gut health? Stress. Chronic pain. Stress. Sitting for 10 hours a day? Your body reads that as stress too. Here's the cruel irony. When you're stressed and tired, you make choices that make everything worse. You skip the gym because you're too tired. But exercise is one of the most powerful tools for building energy resilience. You reach for comfort food. But inflammatory foods make your fatigue worse. You stay up late scrolling because it's the only time you have for yourself. But you're sacrificing the one thing that could actually restore you. You're trapped in a fatigue cycle, and every tired decision tightens the trap. Let's talk about something nobody wants to hear. You might have an underlying health condition that's quietly draining you. Thyroid dysfunction affects millions of people who have no idea. Your thyroid regulates your metabolism, your body's energy production system. When it's underactive, even slightly, you feel perpetually exhausted. You sleep plenty. Nothing changes. Because the problem isn't your sleep schedule, it's your hormones. Anemia is another silent energy thief. Without enough iron, your blood can't carry adequate oxygen to your tissues. Your cells are suffocating. Of course you're tired. Vitamin D deficiency, B12 deficiency, chronic inflammation, sleep apnea, depression. These aren't just medical terms. They're energy vampires that conventional wisdom about just sleep more completely ignores. And here's what makes this so frustrating. You can't willpower your way out of a biological problem. If your thyroid isn't functioning properly, going to bed earlier won't fix it. If you have sleep apnea and you stop breathing dozens of times per night, adding an extra hour of sleep just means an extra hour of oxygen deprivation. But let's say you've ruled out all the medical stuff. You're healthy. You sleep enough. You eat well. You're still tired. The answer might be the hardest one to accept. You're tired because your life is exhausting on a psychological level. You're tired of performing, of managing everyone's expectations, of the mental load of decision-making, planning, worrying. You're tired of being perpetually connected, perpetually available, perpetually productive. Your body isn't just physically tired. Your nervous system is tired. This is called emotional exhaustion, and it's different from physical fatigue. You can sleep 10 hours and still wake up depleted because rest doesn't address the fundamental problem. Your life demands more from you than you have to give. You're running on empty not because you're not sleeping enough, but because you're living in a way that's unsustainable. And deep down, you know it. So what do? First, stop treating sleep as the only solution. Sleep is necessary but not sufficient. You need to address the whole system: your sleep quality, your nutrition, your stress levels, your movement patterns, your emotional health. Get your blood work done. Check your thyroid, your vitamin levels, your iron. Rule out the biological factors that could be sabotaging you. Fix your sleep environment. Make it dark, cool, and quiet. Establish a real bedtime routine that doesn't involve screens. Stabilize your blood sugar. Eat protein with every meal. Stop the sugar and caffeine roller coaster. Move your body, even when you're tired. Exercise builds mitochondrial capacity. It makes you better at generating energy. But most importantly, ask yourself the hard question: is my life actually sustainable? Am I trying to solve with sleep what can only be solved by living differently? Because here's the truth. You're not lazy. You're not weak. You're not broken. You're tired because being human in the modern world is exhausting, and nobody taught you how to protect your energy like the finite resource it is. Your fatigue is information. Listen to it.